Hi, my name is Amanda, and welcome back to Unlocking Scripture with Amanda. And today we will be continuing with Genesis chapter 6. So grab your pen, paper, so you can write down your notes, and let's begin. All right, man's wickedness. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. Fair means beautiful. And they took them wives of all which they chose. So here it's saying the sons of God looked down at the women, and they took the women, came down from their habitat and took the women as wives. Now, let's look at the sons of God in verse 2, because there's some doctrine out there that says the sons of God here are just other men. That they're other men. They say that they're renowned men, like legendary men that came from the Nephilim. They were like Hercules, those type of men. But we'll talk about the Nephilim at a later time. But I just want you to be aware there's a doctrine that says that this sons of God were not angels, because angels can possibly come down and, have sex with women. But let's let scripture decide, and we're going to go to a precept that can help us understand who the sons of God is. So let's take a look at Job chapter 38, verse 4 through 7. Okay. Job 38, verse 4 through 7. Let's see who it's referring to when it comes to the sons of God in scripture.
Verse 4. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth?
Right here, this is God talking to Job, and he's asking him some questions. Okay.
Declare if thou hast understanding. Who has laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who has stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy.
So he's asking Job, where were you when I created all these things? And when the sons of God shouted for joy. So this shows us that the sons of God are angelic beings, not mankind. Okay, so make sure you write that precept down. Job 38, verse 4 through 7. And we also have another precept that may help us understand who the sons of God is. So let's go to Jude chapter 1, verse 6. Jude chapter 1, verse 6.
Verse 6. And I remind you of the angels who did not stay within the limits of authority God gave them, but left the place where they belonged. God has kept them securely chained in prison of darkness, waiting for the great day of judgment.
Okay, these verses that he just read are about angels who left their habitat, as it said, and they didn't stay there. It's referring to this situation right here. These angels that saw the women, and they left their habitat and came down and mated with the women. That is saying that they left their habitat, they did what they weren't supposed to do, and now they're chained. Okay, can you read that one more time?
And that was what it is.
Slowly. That was Jude chapter 1, verse 6. Jude chapter 1, verse 6 is referring to Genesis chapter 6, verse 2.
Verse 6. And I remind you of the angels who did not stay within the limits of authority God gave them, but left the place where they belong.
Right there.
God has kept them securely chained in prison of darkness, waiting for the great day of judgment.
There you go. That's what that is about. Okay. Chapter 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with men, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. So where it says, my spirit shall not always strive with men, that means that the Father is saying, I will no longer put up with the wickedness that's going on. Okay. And for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. A lot of people say that this means that from this point on, the human lifespan will only be 120 years. And that can't be true because many of the patriarchs after Noah lived past 120 years. You have Abraham, he lived to 175 years. You have Isaac, he lived to 180 years. You have Jacob, he lived to 147 years, and so on. There were many who lived past 120 years. So that can't be what this means. What this means is that in 120 years, the flood will come and the Father will destroy all mankind from the time that he talked to Noah and told him to build the ark. He had 120 years until mankind would be destroyed. Okay. Verse 4, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, just what we were talking about, the angels that left their habitation. God came in, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same became mighty men who were of old, men of renown. So what it's saying is that when the angels came in and bore children with the women, their children, their offspring became mighty men. They became the legends that you hear about, like Hercules. They became these strong warriors and heroes. That's what this is saying when it says, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. So legends, heroes, mighty warriors. That's what their union produced. Okay, verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continuously. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. So let's see what it means when it says it repented the Lord. Okay, what does that mean? He repented that he made man and it grieved him. So let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 11. We're going to go to that precept. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 11.
Verse 11. And I am sorry that I ever made Saul king, for he has not been loyal to me and has refused to obey my command. Samuel was so deeply moved when he heard this that he cried out to the Lord all night.
Okay, right there where it's saying that God said that he was sorry that he made Saul king. That is what him repenting that he made man means. He's sorry that he did it at this point. Okay, let's move to verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Okay, verse 8. Noah finds grace with God. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God. So right here, there's a precept where it says Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. Does this mean that Noah was just perfect and without sin? And the answer is no. Let's look at Genesis chapter 7, verse 1. Genesis chapter 7, verse 1. And it says, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. So he wasn't perfect, but he was righteous amongst this evil, wicked generation of people. Okay. All right, let's look at verse 10. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupt his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me. He's getting ready. He done made a judgment. He's about to end all flesh. For the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them. I will destroy them with the earth. Okay, for 14 is talking about building the ark. I'm going to read it in NLT. Okay, 14 through 17. Okay, so make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make room in it and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for it, leaving below the roof an opening 1 cubit high all around. Put a door in the inside of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. I am going to bring flood waters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature that has the breath of life in it. Okay. Now, verse 18, the promise of a covenant. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy son's wife with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. Of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind. Of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all God commanded him, so he did. Okay, that's the end of Genesis chapter 6, and I look forward to seeing you for Genesis chapter 7. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Take care.